Yo! What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while. And we have Leora because everyone's talking about Leora, so why not? No, okay, but the thing is everyone's talking about Leora because everyone else in this update is gonna be free. Udai's gonna be free, Camille's gonna be free, Nyx is gonna be free, although honestly people should be talking about Nyx because Nyx is also really awesome. But the question is whether or not you should summon for what's her face? Athena. And because she's the banner Esper, you will have to spend wish stones. Spoiler alert, probably not, but I'm gonna show you why you might want to anyway. Now, there have been tons and tons and tons of videos that have been talking about Leora, so this is not gonna be like super in-depth, but basically, Daddy Free to Play and GGEC, you know, it's like you're copying someone's homework, you know, it's just like, yeah, you take the numbers and you just don't tell them, but it's okay, I'll tell you guys where it's from. These numbers are gonna be from here, right? So basically, when it comes to the skills, the damage ranges, because of Leora's very unique War Goddess Gold Rim, it really changes how her damage calculates, because it's not just going to be the base, you know, let's say 180% here. It's going to be the base 180% times or multiplied or added, I don't even know what it is, the crit rate gap. Okay, so when you have if your opponent has 0% crit rate, which they won't be, and you have 100% crit rate, that gap is going to further her damage. And because that's going to further her damage, it makes it so that her damage multipliers are very, very different compared to just the usual. And so when it comes to her damage, you will see that this is kind of the range basically. Like it's not just like, for example, her S2, it's not just this 180%, right? It's not just this, it's this 180% times the crit rate difference, which is a range, also factoring in this 10% damage for each surviving ally. Which is why even though this is just a 180% for her S2 actually scales all the way up to possibly 403.2% in most scenarios, 432% in freaking Desolate Lands. It makes it so that her multipliers are even Gaius levels of damage, okay? So that's something to take into account when you're thinking of maybe summoning for her, because holy cow, she does a ton of damage. Now, another thing is that when it comes to all of this stuff, right? All of her kit, you guys should know her kit by now, so I'm not gonna go through it. But she just has a lot of utility, and as I always say, utility is really, really good. So if we just go through all of her skills does something unique. Aside from just the War Goddess status itself, every one of her skills has some form of utility that is going to benefit you when you're using her. Now, for example, her S1's already loaded. It's just 120 damage, but it's not just 120 damage. It's 192% damage, okay? But aside from that, it has a Seer, which is a pretty unique debuff and it's really, really good. And enemy AP minus 15%. Notice that this has a 100% proc chance. So you don't really need to build her for the chance. It's gonna, I mean, like, you're gonna build her for accuracy. But the fact that it's a 100% proc chance means that it's gonna land pretty consistently, which is really, really good if you're going to try to speed tune, or if you're trying to, you know, like speed tune Kronos or something. And her passive is also really nice because holy cow, at the start of combat resets all Leora's ability cooldowns. Now everyone is really excited for this because her S3 does actually nuke, and it nukes like everyone on the team, right? On the enemy team. So what people are very, very excited for is that if you build her just right, if you go through her Kronos, in Kronos 1 if she's the fastest, she will use her S3 and nuke. And then when it goes to the team 2 of Kronos in round 2, she will use her S3 again. Why? Because this resets all of her cooldowns, which is really nice because you can just spam her cooldowns constantly. Obviously like every round, right? Not like when you use this ability. And now for her S2 has something else now. It has standoff. Now if you guys don't know, standoff is one of these really weird abilities where basically if your teammate has standoff, they cannot die unless like the standoff itself is removed, or they take a turn, which is usually how long it lasts, for one turn. But Leora's standoff is very unique because if the allies have less than 50% HP, they have it for 2 turns, which means if the enemy does not have something like buff blocker, like stripping or whatever, this means that she gives your team so much survivability even if it's not healing, which is great. And if you guys didn't also know, standoff actually prevents AP reduction, which means that this is actually a pretty decent buff to have even if you aren't dying. So that's great in of itself. And then when you get into her S3, she has to gain invincibility and attack up for 2 turns, which means for 2 turns you can't even kill Leora, right? So you can try to target her, but it just won't work. And she even has her own self attack up, which is really good because it means that the nuke of her S3, because over here it has like a nuke that targets everyone, is even stronger. So she will have an inherent attack up, which means like you don't even have to, in terms of speed tuning, you don't even have to make it so that, let's say, your Dahlia or your Alice are faster than your Leora. You can just put Leora fast, strong, powerful, and she will clear the waves. So if you are going for like Ultimate Spire, or in the future when there's gonna be this update for the clubs where if you clear the Ultimate Spire, or if you are in the Ultimate Spire leaderboards, then your whole club will get Nexus Crystals, then yeah, Leora is kind of a must pick for there. And aside from that, she has a pretty decent attack up captain ability, which is really, really nice and very, very consistent. Now, another thing is that, honestly, her War Goddess status and her skills are actually on very low, short cooldowns, right? So honestly, if you do have Elaine on your team, your War Goddess status is probably gonna be complete 100% uptime, right? If you have both Elaine and Leora in your team, they will have 100% uptime on their War Goddess and their Night Goddess, which is something to take into account because you do receive Nyx for free. So yeah, she's pretty decent. And the thing is that when it comes to her multipliers, yeah, her S2 deals upwards of 403.2% on a solo target. And that's really, really nice because this isn't something like Gaius where you have to kill other people, or Gaius's shocks, the God King Thunders, they don't get focused, right? You have to kill people. So honestly, when it comes to like at the early stages of like, let's say, Point War or a knockout, she has higher nuke potential than even Gaius does on a solo target, right? Or maybe even on an AoE target, right? Because this is not that bad. Okay, 192% is not going to be that high compared to Gaius, but later on in the later stages when Gaius sort of like falls off because there's only like 4 people or 5 or 3 people left, then he kind of does less damage, right? Because he's all about AoE. But Leora is all about the single target damage. And the thing is, a lot of people are saying, oh, don't buy Leora because, well, if you already have Gaius, you don't really need it. The thing is, right? The thing is, you can bring both of them. You can bring both of them and they complement each other so well. Because Gaius will nuke everyone and then does a lot of AoE damage. And then Leora will do horribly powerful solo target damage. And they kind of feed off of each other as well, right? Because, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Gaius in his R2, where the heck is he? When he is at R2, he will grant accuracy or crit rate depending on which mode he is. So like, this will help you to build your Leora to be even better, right? Because you want your Leora at like 100% crit rate. And that's the thing, right? One of the cons about Leora is that she's gonna be hard to build, because if you're gonna build her speedy for, let's say, clearing content faster or speed tuning content, and then you want to build her with some accuracy for the crit rate down, that way they'll take more damage. You also want to build her with full crit rate, right? Because obviously you want the full crit rate, that way the disparity is even bigger. And there are gonna be people who might want even to build her with full attack percent on the bottom 3, instead of like the usual crit damage attack. And so you're gonna try to have to balance all of these things, which is gonna be pretty rough. Oh, did I forget to mention that in her War Goddess status, she does grant a shield, and this shield is pretty insignificant, right? It's pretty insignificant. The reason why is that the shield only happens before they take a critical hit. So the enemy has to be doing a critical hit, which is normally gonna be like a ton of damage, or like more damage than not having a critical hit. So you guys want to think about this as like a mitigation to the critical hit, right? It's like trying to turn a critical hit into a normal hit. This isn't like trying to be like a really, really powerful shield. It's just trying to like lessen the blow, basically. That's how I like to think about it. And the shield strength is based on Leora's attack, and we have confirmed that this is around 20% of her attack. And that is not a lot. So for example, if you have around like 3,000 attack, let's say 3,000 attack, let's just assume 3,000 attack, she's only going to be having a shield that's 600, which is basically like what a support will do. But you know, it's okay, I guess. Like, it's not that bad. And I'm not sure if we have confirmed if this stacks multiple times against multiple hits. So let's say if your Chloe is attacking him multiple times, will your teammate get like multiple shields for the multiple attacks that they're receiving? I'm not sure yet, should probably find out. But anyway, overall, I do think that Leora is a really powerful unit, and definitely she's gonna be worth it if you do get her. But the thing is, I'm going to recommend highly against summoning her, because even though I do really think that she is Gaius levels worth of powerful because of just how loaded her kit is, that she can like reset her cooldowns every wave, and that she's a great unit, by the way. If you're a new player and you do not have Gaius, everyone's saying to summon her, I agree, go and summon her. But if you're a mid game or a late game player, I would suggest to skip or at least wait, because something that we are still forgetting is that I do not think that this is the anniversary event yet. Okay, so I think this is just a bait. My light turned off. But I think that this is just a bait, because when it comes to all of this, there is still gonna be an anniversary event coming up, I believe. And even if we don't, we can still just wait for the patch notes to release. I think that this is just a precursor, right? And though Leora is really good, I don't think that she is like this super, you know, use all your summons for type deal yet. I want to wait and see for the anniversary to fully release, or for the next month's patch notes to come in, because I don't think this is it yet. I think that this is just the debate before we get the real juicy stuff that's coming for the anniversary. So that's where I stand right now. She is a very good unit, and she is very good in Chronos if you're a new player, because she provides standoff, she provides invincibility, she provides a shield, crit rate down on Chronos is really nice. The Seer, the AP down, it's all good, it's all great, okay? But yeah, I don't know. I just think that you gotta wait. Wait, don't summon for her right now. Right now it's just gotta be a pass for me. And that is pretty much it. Short video, chill video. Not short, it's 12 minutes. God damn it, I always take too long. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I have been so busy lately, but great to be making videos. Thank you so much for all the support. I love you guys. Thank you. Ding. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Hope you guys have a great day. I always take like, 30 seconds to say goodbye. I don't know, it just feels sad, to like say goodbye to people who watch this video, who stay until the end of like the video to see me, Okay, anyway, I'm getting too great. Bye-bye! This thing, okay, I just ordered this, like these two lights, like 1 and 2, and this one just turned off for some, but anyway, yeah, lights, bye.